What is the soul?
Soul is an infinite ocean of just beautiful energy and presence made manifest in human form. It is just an opportunity to fully express that energy while we're alive. It's an invitation. It's an invitation that we all have that's just wanting to be accepted.
Just sitting down with Oprah, no big deal. And now he's really made it because he's on our show. So our next guest shares a message of love and self-acceptance, inspiring people all over the world to harness the power of our authentic selves through what he calls our unique soul signature. We'd love to welcome thought leader and author Panache Desai. Panache, welcome to our show.
Thank you. It's great to be here with you all.
How was that, sitting down with Miss Oprah Winfrey?
It was a life-altering moment for me, and
Really?
she's so generous and so kind and so loving, and it was just an amazing moment.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, we want to talk to you about you a little bit before we jump into your book and your message. You were born and raised in London, and by the time you were a teen, you say you possessed this awareness that you had come to do something special. What does that mean? What was your sign when you figured out what you're here for?
Well, we all have this authentic contribution that we're here to share, and I think that sometimes in life we move away from that and we start to get involved in things that don't allow us to live in alignment with who we really are. And so for me, the wake-up call came in the form of a bar fight that I had actually in East London. I grew up in a very rough neighborhood, and that was my course correction. And in that moment, I came back to spirituality, I came back to my core essence and began to express what I lovingly come to call my soul signature.
What do you mean? Like, what happened? You had this fight and you're thinking, what am I doing? What's going on? Is that the kind of moment you had?
Well, I believe in messages come in whispers, and they come in a 2x4, and then eventually you get the car crash. And I didn't want to wait for the car crash version of that message. It was just a profound jarring me out of that way of being into a natural state again.
Sometimes it takes something like that.
Yeah,
right?
it does.
Absolutely.
So you've got this book here, Tara, and this is your book, Discovering Your Soul Signature. So you say this will help us determine who we are, who we want to be. Tell us about that.
Well, it's a journey out of judgment into acceptance, and it's a 33-day path that's laid out that takes us out of fear into love.
In 33 days?
33 days.
All right, okay.
And we systematically step you through every single aspect of your humanity, because our humanity is in fact a doorway to our divinity. And the more we're in harmony with our humanity, the more naturally the light of our soul emanates through us into the world.
Just like you were saying in your tips in the beginning of the show, if you know who you are, all your decisions are easier, right?
Yep.
I mean, and that can apply anywhere in life.
And how do we define our soul signature? What does that really mean in its essence?
Well, we're all unique emanations of one energy, but we're here to express it uniquely. And so society kind of conditions our individuality out of us. And I'm a big believer in being individual and expressing individually and not making yourself wrong for being that. And so just as every signature is unique and individual, so is every soul's expression unique and individual.
Well, so you have these tips, right, for living your soul signature. Let's bring them up. We'll go through a few. The first is to recognize your unresolved emotions are what hold you back. To allow your feelings to run through you. Remember, you're not what you've been told, and stay fully connected to your true self. But can we talk about the first one? Your unresolved emotions are what hold you back. Would you say that's for everyone?
Absolutely. I've worked with CEOs of corporations, heads of states, to housewives in Wisconsin who are awakening to this greater yearning that they have.
But these unresolved emotions, are they sometimes unconscious? I mean, are you even aware that you have these?
Well, actually, for the most part, they're conscious, but we have unconscious ways of addressing them.
Okay.
So we find our face in the fridge instead of just being available to the tears, right? We, instead of experiencing our fear, we'll distract ourselves through social media. You know, instead of expressing our anger, you know, we'll repress or suppress it in whatever way that we can. And naturally, that leads to a level of emotional toxicity, just like everything else.
Right.
And so the more we cultivate this embracing of our emotional self as a part of who we are as human beings, the more we evolve and the more life takes off, actually. It's been amazing to see that in people.
Man, if I could change that in 33 days, I think
know,
I'd be in.
Yeah,
so, you know, our show
all
is
about it,
based on challenges. Every day we have a different challenge. So today we're encouraging people to make their own decisions. So not let other people influence you negatively. Can you kind of help us separate, how do you know if someone's inspiring you or influencing you? Because I feel like those are two very different things.
Well, I feel like it's time for us to start living our lives from the inside out and to start listening to those external voices as external reminders of inner truths. And so when someone says something to you that's in alignment with who you are, it resonates so profoundly.
Sure.
And it cultivates a feeling of peace. And that's when you act on it. If it's a dissonant voice rooted in fear or rooted in limitation or their own unresolved neuroses, then it's almost jarring to you, and you can feel the difference. So
you have to be
cultivate
conscious
that.
of it, slow down to be able to feel that.
Exactly.
All right, guys, if you want to check out the book, Discovering Your Soul Signature, make sure you pick it up. It's available April 29th, or you can visit the website at panachedesai.com. Panache, thanks again for being here.
Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure.
Very much
Thank you.
Appreciate it.